All right, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this live market analysis video. And we have a lot to talk about, guys. We have a lot to talk about. I want to do an important Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin update. And yeah, make sure to like the video, guys, and let's dive right into this. What's up, David Gorman? What's up, Joe? Let me just pop into the Discord here and post this video because for some reason it didn't post in the Discord. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. So I'm currently in this trade that I posted in the Discord down here in the scalp trade section. The reason I entered this trade is because we were getting that huge dump. We got a perfect bounce off of a daily support, as well as the 4-hour 21 EMA. We're getting this bounce upward. I saw that we came up above this daily support level. We got a bounce off of that daily support, so I said, let me go in for the scalp. I think we're going to get more upward movement. We came up here and we just hit the first take profit at 60,584. We hit that pretty much perfectly. And this just highlights the fact, guys, that these support and resistance levels, they really are reliable levels. They really are reliable for setting your take profits, setting your stop losses. We can look at this green line here, and if we go to the 4-hour and we get a good zoom, we can see that this green line has been acting as resistance all the way since March 15th. And really, even before that, on March 13th, this green line was acting as our resistance. And so it's no surprise that when we come up and we hit this green line, we are getting a rejection. Okay, now, a lot of people were wondering why I entered this trade, since it looks like the 4-hour is losing steam right here. And it's currently printing a red dot. The reason I entered this long trade is because, one, it's a scalp. So I'm not looking to enter a swing trade unless we are to break above this resistance right here at 61,140. Unless we close a 4-hour candle above this line, this to me is the resistance. And so I will be looking to, if I'm looking to enter a longer term trade, I will be looking to enter a short up here. Which is something I was talking about yesterday. But if anyone did short this, that was a great trade. And if I had not been asleep, I would have been looking for a short here, and you would have hit two or three of your take profits for a really nice move, and I would probably still be in this short, looking to take it down to some of these lower levels. But right now I'm just in a scalp long. It's the only opportunity I saw, so I took it. And really, guys, I want to talk about, let me see. Whoops. No, I don't want to show these things. I'm working on a website, guys. I want to talk about, what I'm expecting price to do, especially this week, because price is, Bitcoin is at a moment of decision. And I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about Ethereum. I'm going to be talking about Litecoin as well. Let me open up a new tab here. And we're going to pull up a different layout I have for Bitcoin. Sorry about that, y'all. I think we could get some more upward momentum here, even though we need to cool off on these lower time frames a little bit. The reason I think that is because, we just had, if you look at some of these higher time frames, like the 24-minute, we just had the money flow crossover, and even on the 1-hour, we just are getting a money flow crossover right now, and we see this clear direction. Upwards. It's actually why I entered the trade, because on the 6-minute, you can see that we printed a double bottom, and then we had a money flow crossover right at my entry, as we were retesting this support here. We had a money flow crossover, and yeah, that's why I entered. But let me load up a new layout here. Let me make it 2 right here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's zoom out a little bit. And what I want to do is I want to mark out the daily levels, and I want to look at the Bitcoin price action, because we're seeing something extremely significant, something that we haven't really seen since we broke the all-time high back in, this is not Bitcoin. We've not seen this since we broke the all-time high of 20K. And here's what I'm talking about. Now, we have a very clear resistance right here. This is a daily level of resistance. And the reason this is a daily level is because we have the candles closing right up here. And then look at how it's been acting as resistance. Every time we hit this, we get a nice rejection. And then, of course, we have these other levels here, which I would consider more 4-hour levels of resistance. Let me zoom out. I would consider this to be a 4-hour level of resistance right here. Okay, so something very significant is happening, guys, to the Bitcoin price action, which is this. For the first time ever, we are able to hold this orange line as support. And really, if I'm going to mark this as a 4-hour, I would probably move it down a little bit more here, just so it lines up with these wicks here and these candle bodies here. This is the first time we've actually been able to hold 4-hour candles above this orange line as support. And right now we're trading within this very small range here, right? We've been trading within this very small range, pretty much besides this wick down, this fake out wick, which got us a bounce off the 21 EMA. We have been trading within this range. And this has never happened before. When we had this massive pump to the all-time high, we immediately lost this orange level as support. And then this orange level was acting as our resistance all the way through March. All the way through the end of March, the beginning of April, the first week of April. So the fact that we have come up and are now able to hold this as support is very significant to me. It's very significant to me. It's bullish to me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not looking for lower levels. It just is significant to me. Now, another thing I see here, guys, is the fact that if we just look at the daily time frame, we can kind of do something like this, where we can see that we've been forming this massive ascending triangle, kind of, right? Since really, I mean, we've been trading on this trend line since the end of January, and really we could pull this back even more. Maybe not, depending on how you want to look at this. But we've been trading along this trend line on the daily time frame since, you could say, from the middle of December. And right now things are ramping up, right? There's going to be some kind of breakout. It's going to either break up or it's going to break down. And I would say that this is probably where we would start measuring the initial breakout, just because this is where we have price action hitting the top and the bottom of the triangle. And if we do break out of there, that does put us at a pretty high Bitcoin price. And if we go back in time to when we broke 20K, we had something very similar happening here. Because for the past few days, if you remember, we've been trading very sideways. I mean, the Bitcoin price has been trading very sideways. This is not a good area for swing traders, right? We haven't been able to get those nice long swing moves that we want to get. We have been getting these tiny little scalp trades, which is fine. But Bitcoin has not been the most lucrative asset to trade, right? We've been making a lot more trading altcoins. But if we go back to before we broke the 20K level, which happened right around here. Right around here. Let me put a line at when we finally broke the 20K level. we had something very similar happening, where we had this massive run up, right? Like right here. And we were kind of forming that triangle shape. Of course, it was happening on a much smaller scale back then. But when we got to that all-time high, we kept flirting with the all-time high. And I remember even Coinbase had this, like, what was it? Like to guess when we were going to break 20K. We kept flirting with it and rejecting off of it. And we kept flirting with that level and then coming back down. And flirting with it and coming back down. We kept tapping it. I remember during these days, right, we were getting so close a few times per day before we were getting rejected off of that level. And the volume got very, very low during this time as well. I don't know if you guys remember that, but if I pull up my volume indicator here, we can see that volume was very, very low before that breakout of the 20K. And then all of a sudden we have a massive spike and a massive run up. And then we break out, we form this bull flag, and we keep breaking out. And it just feels very similar to me right now, where, you know, volume is very low. You know, I mean, relatively speaking, right? Of course, because during this run up, we've had very high volume. And now volume's kind of tapered off. And we keep flirting with this 60K level, and it's acting as a strong resistance. And so for me, I'm going to treat that thing as resistance. And you know, every time we get up there, I'll be looking for downward momentum on Market Cipher to short it if I happen to catch the move, until we get a 4-hour candle above that resistance level. So let's take a look at Market Cipher. Let me remove these trend lines here. Well, let me keep that trend line there. I'll mark out a few more daily levels. But if we're just taking a look here, it seems that on the 1-day time frame, we still have some upward movement to go. The VWAP is starting to curve down, but we can still see a pretty clear direction here. If we just take a line like this, we can kind of connect a lot of these trigger waves together. You know, you could consider this maybe an anchor wave, and then a tight trigger wave, and then a trigger wave above the zero line. But because we can draw a straight trend line through that, that means the direction is still in our favor. And the fact that now we are seeing this wave come up a little bit higher than this wave, to me is a good sign. It's a good sign, because it means momentum is building, and price is generally staying in this same area. And so we're still technically bullish on the 1-day. We're trading above the 21 EMA right here, which is a good sign. And the fact, again, that we're bound in this tight little range, to me, is also a good sign, because it gives us a very clear area of consolidation that we can trade. If we draw a little box around this area, we can say, okay, we're going to look for either a break up or a break down of this box. And if price breaks down out of this box, we would be looking to short down to lower levels, perhaps starting with this trend line. If price breaks above this box, then we will be looking to long to a new all-time high. Of course, we wouldn't do that unless Market Cipher is giving us that go-ahead. But if we look at the 4-hour, we can also see that we are holding above this 21 EMA, which, again, is very significant, guys. It's very significant. The fact that we are able to hold above the 21 EMA and also hold above this support level, to me, is extremely significant. Look at how strong this daily support level is right here. Or, I'm sorry, this is a 4-hour support level. It's very strong at 49.4. So to me, I have a very clearly defined area right now where I'm keeping my eyes on this box. If we are able to come above the box, then I think for sure we're going to be hitting a new all-time high. If we break below this box, we will also be breaking below the 21 EMA, which gives us a lot of confluence to short down to lower levels. If we go down to like the 2-hour, we can see that on the 2 hour, like, things are getting very tight here, right? We just printed a red dot in the 2 hour, but it looks like we might be printing another green dot soon. On the 1 hour, we're printing another green dot right now. Okay, it's definitely not confirmed. We still have another 53 minutes, but the fact is we are printing another green dot in the 1 hour. We did have this money flow crossover just happen. On the 30-minute, we do have this tight trigger wave, and right now the VWAP's looking a little bit sad, but really it depends on how this candle starts to form. Come down to the 6-minute. 6-minute, we're getting a red money flow cross, but it's possible that we could come down here, print another trigger wave, and continue with our upward momentum. We're at the halfway point. We're literally at the halfway point between these two lines of support and resistance, which have been acting as our boundaries for this range. Let me make that green. And yeah, that green line is, as you can see, has been acting as a support and resistance zone, a liquidity zone throughout this entire time that we've been trading this range. So let me mark out the levels and tell you, where I'm looking for targets as far as longs and shorts go. And before I do that, let me get into the chat. Guys, FOMO into the like button. We've got almost 500 people in here, only 100 likes. I think that there's an issue and YouTube's not notifying people of my streams anymore. Maybe I said something wrong about politics. Shout out to Theo, who says, thanks for what you do, learning a lot through VIP. Keep it up. Thanks, Theo. Shout out to Mac Will. Yeah, Timmy Sorsen talks about the he talks about the 13 EMA, which is ribbon 3, I think, or I don't know what ribbon it is on Market Cipher A. Let's just put on a regular 13 EMA here. Let's put on a regular 13 EMA and check out the bounces. I did notice that ribbon A on Market Cipher was getting those bounces. And look at this though, guys, the 13 EMA, which is also a Fibonacci EMA, seems to be, really holding us up too. So we have very good support. We have very strong support. Extremely strong. And again, the 4 hour, that red dot is going away here. There's something happening. There's something a brewing. There's something a brewing. How you brewing? That was the name of a coffee shop I used to go to. How you brewing? So I'm going to come here and I'm just going to mark out some dailies and kind of share what I'm thinking. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I do in the VIP streams, but we've got this level here at right around here at 57.4, because it was our resistance, then it became a strong support. And again, I'm always starting on the left of the chart here. Then we have 55.8. That was a really strong level. We have this one here at right around 54K. This is also a really strong level. I was really hoping that we would see Bitcoin come down to that level as well. And then we have here at 51.5. And then I would put one as well. This is not a daily level as much as it is maybe a 4 hour level, but I will put one down here at the bottom of this range right at 50.3, because really we can take a look and see that ever since we had this pump all the way to the all-time high, this has been the range that we've been trading in. So really, as you guys know, I like to take this level to level, and I look at Market Cipher and I try and say, okay, when price comes to any of these levels, any one of these levels, I will be looking for a trade entry. I will be looking for a trade entry. Any one of these, I will be looking for either a long or a short. And so what I do is, like, let's kind of see what happened this morning when we got this pump and dump. Let's go to our 4-hour time frame. And we got this pump all the way up to 61.3, and then we dumped down. And if we just, oops, didn't mean to do that. If we just circle this area and then take a look at what happened there so that we can know how to trade in the future, come to the 6-minute time frame and zoom out, we can see that, and let's go to the 12-minute. You have to, when you're looking for these trades, you want to, I like to use the 3-minute, the 6-minute, and the 12-minute. Whenever price gets to one of these levels, I like to use the 3-minute, the 6-minute, and the 12-minute. So for me, I probably would have entered this short when I saw that we were getting to this level. Because remember, when we get to these levels, I'm already biased. I'm already biased that I'm looking for a short position. And to be honest with you guys, Market Cipher is not giving the most clear, it's not giving the most clear signal here to enter a short. It was giving us a very clear signal to enter long. In fact, if we go to the 12-minute time frame right here, or even the 24-minute time frame, we can see that before the pump happened, Market Cipher was giving us an extremely clear signal that we were going to enter long. We had the bottom, and then we just see this clear upward direction, and we get this money flow cross with this tight trigger wave right here, right before the pump. If we go to the 12-minute, we can see we're getting this very clear direction and a money flow crossover right around this area, right at this bottom here, before the pump. But the opposite, usually we will see happen when we get to those resistances. Sometimes it's not as clear. So a lot of times, when we get to these levels, you might enter a small position and then add to it as you get more confirmations. But what we do see here is just a high red trigger wave on the 12-minute. If we come down to the 3-minute, then we can see a little bit more of a direction. The money flow crossover doesn't happen until we get to this line right here. So to be totally fair, if I was actually going to short this, I would probably short right here, because that's where I'm getting the money flow crossover confirmation. And then I would have shorted it down to at least this support, and perhaps even lower. We'll have to see what happens now. But remember, we are bound within this range. So, this would have been a short position that I would have entered if I had gotten that short, but I didn't, so I longed the bounce. But that's what we're looking for when we come down to those lower time frames. And then really we're taking it level to level. So if we lose the box, on the 4-hour right here between 61.2 and 59.4, if we lose that box, then I would be looking to short down to this trend line and this daily support, because there's a lot of confluence here. I would be looking to short down to 57.4. And if we lose that, I would be looking to short down to 55.8. And if we lose that, I just keep going down and down. And if price dumps and you're not comfortable shorting, you can find really nice long entries simply by just waiting for a bounce, and because a lot of times the bounces are easier to find than the rejections, because they become so clear. And you would be looking for, the first place I always look for when price is dumping is the 21 EMA. This 21 EMA is a great place to catch a bounce. And then any daily support. If you see that we are bouncing off of a daily support as well as a 21 EMA, that's also a great place to look for a long entry. And another thing, guys, a lot of people we need to keep the mindset that we should be longing at supports and shorting at resistances. A lot of people want to long resistance and short support because they say, well, if we lose this level, we're going down lower, so I'm scared, so I'm going to sell. Or they say, oh, we're going to break out of this resistance, so I'm going to go long. That's not how we should look at it. We should always be biased toward, if we come down to support, I'm going to be looking to long. When everyone else is freaking out and panic selling, FOMO selling, I'm going to be looking to go long. And when everybody else is FOMO buying into these pumps, I'm going to look to go short. And you're going to find that it's very hard to trade with that mindset because emotions will take over. And for some reason, whenever Bitcoin comes up to these levels, all of a sudden everybody's super, super, super bullish. And when Bitcoin drops down, everybody's super, super, super bearish. And honestly, guys, I was bearish here as well because I was hoping that we would come down even lower and test some lower levels, which we very well may. Okay, we very well may come down and even hit 54K before getting a bounce, just to make sure that everybody who's watching this, waiting for the breakout, the whales will want to liquidate all that so that they can fill their huge buy orders down at maybe one of these levels, and then we get a massive, massive pump to the upside. And we need to keep in mind as well that there are two CME gaps that have not been filled. There is one at 58.6, and then there's this other one down here at 54K. These have not been filled yet. And historically, these things do get filled. They get filled. Sorry, that one, there's actually, I don't know if this second one got filled here. I forget. But this one back here never got filled. This one here never got filled. And I don't trade CME gaps, but they're just something to keep in mind. They are just something to keep in mind. We also have the IPO for Coinbase opening up this week. And to me, that could either be bullish or bearish in the short term, because they might want to suppress the price a little bit so that when they announce there's this massive pump for Bitcoin, or they might want a massive pump before they announce. I'm not sure. But those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. And before we get into Ethereum, let me go into the chat. And guys, FOMO into the like button. The like button is going parabolic, and we got 600 people, only 200 likes. Man. Shout out to Dave Chappelle, great comedian in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. Paul Chapman wants to know, do I focus on my daily support and resistance lines for take profits, etc., and ignore the 4 hour and 1 hours? No, Paul. For my take profits, I will use the 1 hour and the 4 hour as well, because I want to take profit when I'm in profit, and I feel that a lot of times price might reject off of one of those levels, like right here. You know, this green line. This is not a daily level. This is a 4 hour level. I set my take profit here, and we are getting a rejection off of that level. Are we going to be able to break through? I'm not sure. So I want to make sure that I'm taking profit when I'm in profit. I don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. So I like to lock in my profits. And, you know, these scalps, obviously, you're going to be using a little bit higher leverage. But, yeah, I want to lock in my profits. Shout out to Ms. KO, who says, please leave Jesus alone and let's just focus on trading. Maxwell Day says, shout out to Jesus. Yeah, you guys know I love Jesus on this channel. He is literally the reason for everything. Literally. Through him all things were made, and he holds all things together, both seen and unseen. So yeah, shout out to our Messiah, Yeshua. That's his Hebrew name. And I pray that the Lord blesses all of you watching this in the mighty name of Yeshua. And I do pray that he reveals himself to each one of you in a very personal way. Because it is an amazing thing to be born again and in Messiah. It is an amazing thing. Okay. Yeah, T. Fletch, every knee will bow. That's true. And confess that Jesus is Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. Okay, Bruce wants to know what I mean about the CME gap getting filled. Well, here's what I mean, Bruce. I guess we're back to Bitcoin. Basically, the futures, there's a futures market. Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, and you hear CME gap being thrown around a lot, there's a futures market which trades in the traditional market where people are trading Bitcoin futures, and the market closes every Friday. Okay, so right here the market closed, right here the market closed, and right here the market closed. Well, what happens is Bitcoin doesn't close on Friday. Bitcoin continues to trade throughout the weekend. And what happens is we end up with these gaps on the chart because the Bitcoin price will close here, and then when the CME futures market opens up again on Sunday afternoon, there's this gap in the chart because the Bitcoin price continued to move while the CME market was closed. And usually what happens most of the time, and we can't only use this to trade, we need to just keep it in the back of our mind, is the Bitcoin price will come back down to fill that gap, to fill this gap. That's why, one of the reasons why so many people were looking for a $54,000 Bitcoin. It happens very often, and so it's something that people keep in mind. So we have this gap here where, the 58.87, I'm sorry, even lower than that, 58.65 is where the market closed on Friday. And now we're trading, way up here. So a lot of people are saying and thinking, okay, we need to fill this gap. We need to fill this gap. And so people are expecting, or not maybe expecting, but just keeping in mind that we could come down 3.86% today. It's possible. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum. As you guys know, I am extremely bullish on Ethereum in the long term. And right out of the gate, if we go to the daily time frame, we see a few things. Okay, first of all, we do have upward momentum on the daily, just like we do on Bitcoin. But because we've been trading sideways, and we are bound again in this kind of range that we've been in for the past 3 days, 2.5 days, the momentum wave is not very pronounced. We seem to just be trading sideways. And again, it just feels like, and I would never recommend trading off how you feel, but it feels like we're ramping up for something as well, even with Ethereum, because we have been trading on this trend line since December. Just like with Bitcoin, we've been trading on this trend line since December. We come up, we test the trend line, we test the trend line, we test the trend line, and it seems that every time we test the trend line, we get a smaller and smaller bounce, and it just seems like things are ramping up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Historically, April is an extremely bullish month, and there's a lot of mixed feelings right now on the cryptocurrency markets. Overall, super bullish. I mean, nobody would look at this and say that we're in danger of coming into a downtrend. As long as we're above the 21 EMA on the daily time frame, and as long as we're above this trend line, we're still in the uptrend. There's no way around that. This is an extremely bullish trend. But again, volume has been lower lately, ever since ever since Ethereum burst out of that symmetrical triangle that it was forming right here. It was forming a very large symmetrical triangle along this trend line. We burst out, and we had this kind of bull flag thing forming on the daily, and then we just have not been able really to continue on with the upward movement. We've been trying, but we have not. So it seems like something is kind of holding us back. It was a weekend, so that's also something to keep in mind. But let me mark out some of the daily levels and then show you what I'm thinking as far as Ethereum goes. Actually, let me pull up another Ethereum chart that I have here. Because I think I have one that's already marked up. Yeah, so here's my Ethereum chart. So these are the levels that I'm looking at, okay? Of course, we have this all-time high, which is this green line, which we hit on April 10th, which was 2 days ago. And then we hit that again today. And so this is acting as resistance. So for right now, as traders, we need to be treating this green line at $2,211.47, okay? Not 46, not 48, 47 cents. Just kind of joking, right? This general area, as traders, we need to treat this as resistance. And if price comes up here, it's a great place to look for a short position, even if it's just a scalp short down to here. And then these lower levels right here, we should be looking for longs when price comes down to even this level here, if price comes to 2138, if price comes to 2047, if price comes down to 1975, man, what a year that was. Or if we come down to 1913, that was an interesting year, 1913. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world back then. But if price comes down to one of these levels, that's where I'm really looking to add to my long, or if you're not in a long, get into a long position. Of course, there's always the chance that we could break out of here, but the most important thing to remember is we need to trade what Market Cipher tells us to trade. So on the 4-hour time frame right now, we do have a red momentum wave coming down. So really, it's a tough one. I personally wouldn't really be looking to short Ethereum right now at all. And here's why. We're at a support. It's a daily support. We're at the 21 EMA on the 4-hour, which has been acting as our support all the way since April 8th. And so unless we lose both of these levels here, I think we have very strong support. But if we do lose this level and Market Cipher is giving us that downward momentum, then I would look to come down to the 20,048. And if we lose that, I would look to come down to the 1978 level. And of course, when I'm taking profits for these things, I'm taking profits along the way. So if I had shorted this all-time high here, I definitely would have taken profit right here, because we can just see that this was a strong resistance level. And so it just makes sense that price, when it is retracing from this high, will find some kind of support, some kind of reaction at this level. So this would be a take profit level. Then this one right here is another. We can see it was acting as resistance, as support, as resistance, as support again. And so that's kind of how I scalp or day trade, is I wait for price to get to one of these levels. I look for Market Cipher telling me, okay, we're coming down. And then I just set my take profits where the price has found a resting place, a sticking place historically. And I have good success trading it that way. Overall, I think we're very bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't see any reason to think that we're in danger of the bull market being over. I know the Pi top indicator says that we're coming to a top, but the other indicators like the Nupal, they are not saying that. And also, I think it's good and healthy that we have this time for Bitcoin and Ethereum where we are trading sideways and really trading within this very tight range where there's a lot of people who are unsure what's going to happen. There's a lot of people who are looking to long. There's a lot of people who are looking to short. Everybody has their own opinion. I think that's good and healthy for the market, and I think we're ramping up for a massive move, whether that be upwards or downwards. It could be downwards and then upwards for both of these coins. But I think if we do have a massive move downward, if we drop Bitcoin and Ethereum and we drop to maybe to retest this triangle or something, I think that will give us all a great opportunity to go long and just to buy the dip, to buy people's fear when they think the bull market is over. I will be definitely looking to get in a really nice long position there. All right, let's go over to Litecoin. Litecoin doing really well here. Litecoin has hit a number of my take profit levels. I posted this. I've been accumulating Litecoin for a long time. Right down here is where I really accumulated some Litecoin because I wanted to get it when it was under 200. And I thought I missed my opportunity, but we got this flash dip here, so I loaded up. And currently, I've got this on Binance. I hit one take profit, 7%, two take profit, 16%, third take profit at 27%. And I'm just holding Litecoin because I think Litecoin is going to be extremely bullish. Like I say often, it's like that coin where people who are new and getting into cryptocurrency for the first time, they go onto Coinbase and they never heard of Litecoin before, and they do a little research, they Google it, and they're like, oh man, Litecoin, that's the silver to Bitcoin's gold. I'm going to load me up on some of that, because let me tell you, if Bitcoin went up to $60,000, then maybe Litecoin could do the same thing. I mean, after all, it is faster than Bitcoin. It's better, right? And so new investors are going to be flooding into Litecoin. And it is one of those, high market cap, top 10, top 20 altcoins, which in these bull markets, they just inevitably do very well. So again, we're finding support up here at this previous high, right, of this, exactly at this previous high of the triangle breakout. We're finding support. So this is really good because we had the run up, we're having the retest, and then I'm expecting more upward direction. Of course, if Bitcoin crashes down to 54K, all these alts are going to crash too. But I almost feel like, if that does happen, we can ignore the crash, just look at it as an opportunity to buy low, because Bitcoin really does lead the market. So if Bitcoin's crashing, the altcoins are going to crash, and as long as we don't close like a daily candle below this triangle, then I'm expecting a $500 Litecoin. I know it seems crazy, but I really don't think it is. If we take a look at our fib here, and we just pull it from, well, there's a lot of ways we could do it, but let's just take it from the last swing low, which was right here. Actually, let's pull it from down here to the top. I mean, this is just really nice, right? We had this move. We came up. We bounced off perfectly off the 618 twice. Double bounce off the 618. Now we're coming up. So if I want to set some targets for this, what I will do is I will take my fib, just pull it out in public like I do, and I'll take it from the high to the 618 of that move. And you can see that, we've already hit our one-to-one retracement. The 1.618, which is a great level to look out for, is 323, and then the 2.618 is right up here at about 418, and then the 3.618 is right around 500. So I know it seems a little crazy, but you know how these markets go parabolic. And if we just look at how Litecoin has moved in the past, let's take a look here. If we take a look at some of these older pumps and dumps, like this one here, take it from the swing low to the swing high, we can see we got a bounce also off the 618. We wicked down perfectly to the 618 of this move. And so if we take the fib from here down to the 618, where we got that perfect bounce, we hit the 1.618 perfectly. So that's why I'm expecting to hit the 1.618 and just continue on up with these levels. As things continue to ramp up in this bull market, I believe things are going to move very fast. It only took Bitcoin 1 week to double in price at the end of the last bull run. It took us an entire year to go from, 800 thereabouts to 10,000. But then it took us a week to go from 10,000 to 20,000. So as things ramp up here, I think we're going to see just massive movement in the next few months. Okay. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. What exchange am I using to switch from different tokens, and how do I transfer Bitcoin into money? I use Binance. I use Binance, and then if I want to exchange Bitcoin into cash, I use Coinbase. I don't do any yield farming. I don't. I do not, and I apologize. Okay, let's take a look at some of these altcoins that I've been digging lately. Yeah, so this is one that I was really eyeing up, HNT. HNT, I've been eyeing this up because I saw this clear direction on Market Cipher, right? We had this bottom, we had this tight trigger, then we had this kind of trigger. Let's take a look at HNT. It's not doing the best. It's not doing the best. But I am still holding this because I do expect that we're going to see some good movement on this. I really do. We're finding a support here, which is good. And I think that there's going to be some news regarding this very soon. And I'm expecting us to come up to hit these higher levels. Let's see what other coins I've been doing in here. YFI, been beasting, right? YFI, that's been a good one. Yeah, we had this breakout. We hit 2 take profit levels, and we need to cool off a little bit on Market Cipher. We can see that we need to cool off, but I do think we're going to have more upward movement after we come down and test some of these previous supports. Let me get to my real YFI chart here. Yeah, so this is the chart that I've been trading off of. And you can see after the breakout we hit 2 take profits. Man, it would have been nice to hit that third take profit, but this is the 12-hour time frame, and you know, clearly we need to cool down a little bit, and if we get a nice trigger wave in here, I think, yeah, we're going to hit the third take profit, which is the high of this triangle, and then hit even higher prices for that. Let's see. XRP. All right, let's take a look at XRP. Guys, like the video. We got almost 600 people and only 200 something likes. FOMO into the Jason Casper like button. It helps the YouTube algorithms show my video and people's suggested and all that. It helps support the channel. All right, let's look at XRP. Good old XRP has been pumping with me on the sidelines. I have not been a part of the XRP pump. Okay, I have not been a part of the XRP pump since November. That was the last XRP pump that I got into, and man, did I miss out on this. 136%. Actually, the November pump was more. Isn't that crazy? I guess it's just because the price has gone up, so it's less percent. But okay, let's go to the daily time frame for XRP. Let me turn off Market Cipher A for now. And let's just draw out some levels. So we have a very clear, and again, I'm kind of generalizing here. I'm not as precise with my altcoins, but we have a daily level, I would say, right there. And then I would say we have one here as well. And then I would even put one right here. And right now, I would say that this is the daily support, simply because on yesterday's red candle, we were unable to close below this line here. And now today, again, we tried to wick below, and it's acting as support. So, you know, this is one of those instances where we're in the middle of a pump, and people are wanting to FOMO into XRP because of what has happened in the past few days. For me, because I missed the pumps, I would not be looking to get in long right now. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea to do that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to get into some XRP. All I'm saying is I would want to see. I would not get in here unless I see one of these levels getting retested. unless I see one of these areas getting retested, or at least a bounce off of one of the EMAs. And you can use whatever time frame you want, but I would like to see a bounce off of these EMAs, or if we find support here and we're holding this support quite well, and the EMA kind of comes up and becomes double support, then and we start printing, the trigger wave right here on the 4-hour, then I would say, okay, I'll long XRP. I will long XRP, because we just want to make sure that what we don't want to do is we don't want to buy high when Market Cipher is telling us we still have more downward momentum to come. Right here, if I jiggle my mouse and get it nice and big, I can't. There we go. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if we come down and we start printing the green trigger wave here, and again we're forming a clear support, then I would say, okay, we have another leg up. But until that happens, I would say I wouldn't want to just buy XRP right now. I would not, but I am definitely keeping my eye on it. As much as I dislike XRP, it's been impossible not to keep my eye on it. And if we look at the 24-minute, it is looking kind of bullish, guys. It's looking like we're ramping up to print that 4-hour GD. Let's look at the 12-minute real quick, just to zoom in. Yeah, so the 12 minutes looking nice, guys. The 12 minutes looking nice. The 4 hours looking nice. XRP is looking pumptastic. Let's go to the 30-minute. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, so we definitely have some direction on the 1 hour. I would like to see, and we've got this GD on the 2 hour. Yeah, it's looking nice. It's looking super nice on the 2 hour. Because, we have a very clear kind of direction. We come to the 8 hour. The higher time frames definitely need to cool off. I would be watching it. I would be watching it to see on the lower time frames, clear direction, which we are getting clear direction here. It looks like we're about to, though, get a little bit of downward momentum up here on the 24-minute. So, this could be a good area to potentially, if you're looking to get in. Potentially, we need to watch and see what happens, because what we don't want is, if we print this red dot here, that's giving us some downward direction. And clearly we've been trading sideways for some time with lots of red and green dots. But the good thing is that the money flow came down into the red. It's coming back into the blue. That's a very good sign that water is coming back into the garden. We did have this period of consolidation right here. This very clear box of consolidation. So I would draw this box of consolidation, and I would look at Market Cipher, and I would just take this box and see if we break above it, and Market Cipher is giving us that clear direction. For me, I would look to get in there, or even before we break the box. If it looks like we're about to break the box, like right up here, it looked like we were about to break the box. But then we got downward momentum, and right here it looks like we're about to break the box. Then we got more downward momentum again right here. So I would just keep my eyes on it. But overall, I mean, the last time we printed a red dot on the 12-hour, we had 1, 2, 3 days of consolidation. So now we printed this red dot. We're like a day and a half in. So 3 days of consolidation. in here before the massive pump, and we were trading in this box. And so now we're trading in another box, and we're at a day and a half of consolidation. I would just keep my eyes on things, and when I see momentum ramping up, like really ramping up, I would assume, yeah, we're probably going to get another leg up there. Oh, RY Andy wants to know, how do I draw the box? You just come here to the brush tool, and you click the side arrow and get the rectangle tool. 3 minute is super thick. Oh wow, yeah. So the 3 minute is looking nice, guys, for XRP. It's actually looking really nice. And we got these bottoms, and we can just draw a clear line to here. So yeah, momentum is definitely ramping up. We can see it on the 3 minute. We can see it on the 6 minute. Yeah, I would be keeping my eye on the 6 minute right now to see what happens when this VWAP crosses above, and just watch it come through all these different time frames, because you know, things start on the lower time frames and then they move to the higher time frames. Okay, let's see. Sure thing. Binance Coin. What's in the box? Clark Morningstar. Shout out to you, bro. Money flow making the garden grow, says Crypto James. Spar DA 102. When I hit all my take profits, do I get out of the trade completely or leave some chips in? I always leave some chips in. Always. Because my stop loss will always be in profit by that point. And worst case scenario, I become a millionaire because Bitcoin goes to 2,000. Okay, CHZ is a coin that I've been looking at as well. So let me get into here. CHZ. So CHZ, man, I was accumulating this coin in this red box, because to me this red box is our buy zone, and I was expecting a breakout. Now, unfortunately, what happened here is we did not break out. We came below the support, and really I am just kind of hanging in here right now, hoping that we reclaim this resistance as support and then continue on upwards. I do think that this coin has a lot of potential, and just looking at the 4-hour time frame here, we've bottomed out, and now we're printing consecutively higher waves. So I'm kind of hoping and waiting for something like this, where we come down, print a nice tight trigger. We want to see money flow crossing over from the red into the green, and then, you know, hopefully off to the races. All right, guys. What's going on, Nux 914? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at sushi real quick, because people are asking about sushi. Wow, sushi is looking interesting here. Well, at first glance, it looks like we're coming down to this region of support. And so if we are able to hold this, we could very easily have some more upward movement. I don't see any kind of, I mean, I suppose you could do this, but I don't think so. I wouldn't do that. Let's go to the 4-hour real quick. Okay, 4 hours looking pretty nice, right? We came down, we bottomed out, we found support. Back on March 25th, and we bottomed out here. And so now we've gotten these 5 bottoms, and we are starting to see money flow cross back into the blue on the 4-hour. And you know, the last time that this kind of happened, we had the pump, we found support. When money flow crossed over, we got another pump. I would love to see something like this. I mean, this on the 4-hour is just, that's the money right there. Right now, you know, we're starting to see some kind of direction. So I would definitely keep this on my radar for sure. Okay, Memory Man got a donut vaccine. 1 vaccine equals 3 donuts, and I'm choking sign. Is that what that means, Memory Man? Okay, what are my VIP videos? Alright guys, I have a course, and I'm actually going to be making this video later, how to take partial profits in Bybit. I made one last night. I realized I left out a lot of information that is crucial, so I'm going to remake it more comprehensively. If you sign up for this course, you get access to the VIP channels where I post my like TA here, as well as live stream videos once a week where I'm going into much more detail on my TA, talking about actual trades I'm looking to take. There's 2 levels. So there's level 1 where you can get the course and this TA, and then the second level is where I actually post the trades that I'm taking. And there's 2 levels. You can go to patreon.com/JasonCasper to get both of those. So let me put that in the chat here. And yeah, that's the way to do it. Also, guys, join the free Discord. There's a lot of cool people up in there. Join the free Discord. And Moondream says, sign up for Jay's course. Best thing I ever did, 100. Shout out to Moondream. Thanks for being here. Luis Rivera, message me in Discord, man. Message me in the Discord. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to cut the stream here, but I appreciate everybody for being here. I'm sorry I can't get to everyone's coins, but I've got to run. And yeah, Luis Rivera, join my Discord. Send me a message in there, man. I want to talk to you. All right. I pray that the Lord blesses all of you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom. In the name of Jesus, our Messiah. Amen. And I do pray that all of you are truly blessed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.